Going on, guys? Welcome, Rabid here. So it is now official. Yesterday we dropped the news Bitmain had hidden firmware that the KS3 KASPA miner is coming, and today they dropped the bomb on Twitter, which is what we wanted to wait for, their official announcement. We could see 8.3 terahash, 3,188 watts. Now they are having, guess the price, and it comes with a $10,000 off code to get this thing. So because this is coming with a $10,000 code, we can expect this thing to be over $10,000, which is insane. And in a bull run, this could be the first $100,000 miner ever, depending on profitability. But there's also the chance KASPA could die. So we're going to go through the numbers here and compare this versus the KS0, KS1, KS2. We're going to look at the profitability of those. We're also going to look at the profitability of the KS3 and some pros and cons of this actual miner. You're not going to want to miss this. The numbers are going to look insane. They're also going to look very bad. So if you are unfamiliar with the ice rivers, we have the KS0, KS1, and KS2. And this is about 100 gigahash at 100 watts, which is a no-brainer. This thing alone destroys GPUs. GPUs are done. Whether you like it or not, you are not going to be mining KASPA on a GPU anymore. Even if you have free power, it's probably not going to look very good at all. It's going to be that bad. But then moving forward, and this is actually the worst miner of the whole lot here. We have the KS1. This is about 1 terahash at 600 watts, and we have the KS2 at 2 terahash and 1200 watts. So I made a spreadsheet, I slapped it together here, and we can look at the efficiency numbers and so on. So here we have the KS0, 100 gigahash, 100 watts. Gigahash per watt is obviously 1 here. We're getting 1 gigahash for 1 watt of power, which is insane to think about for KASPA. Here we have the KS1, 1 terahash, 600 watts. That is 1.666 gigahash per watt that you're getting. We shouldn't have to put a GPU in here. It's a no-brainer that the worst miner in this case does, again, destroy your GPU. And now we have the Bitmain KS3, 8.3 terahash, 3,188 watts, and this thing is about 150-160% more efficient than even the KS1 and KS2 at 2.603 gigahash per watt of power used. You can see the efficiency here. Bitmain is doing it again, and I think KASPA is probably going to turn into Cadena, and if you're not sure what I mean by that, stay tuned. So now we're actually going to look at the profitability. I have 3 charts here set up, and yes, these are accurate. You can't say they aren't. They are. This is what I do before I test a lot of coins and mine it. This is legit profitability and numbers to expect from these things. So this is KASPA right now with the current block rewards and everything and so on. This will be KASPA once 2,000 of these miners release, and this will be KASPA if 5,000 of these miners sell. The uncertainty here is we don't know how many miners they have, but what we did see with Cadena is they sold, I think we're around the 3,000 to 4,000 mark, and the hash rate, Cadena's dead for any miner other than a KS3 unless you have cheap power. You can get away with some of the lower grade, I guess, Cadena miners, but we're going to see the same thing happen on KASPA. It's going to look good at first. Long term, maybe after a month or two, it's not going to be profitable for probably anyone unless you have cheap power. So you're probably not going to want one of these miners, no matter how good it looks at first, unless you truly believe in KASPA. But that's another thing. We're probably going to see more centralization obviously happen on KASPA, depending who and how many of these miners people get. And we're going to see massive sell pressure. It's going to really be hard to climb out of. Now, KASPA was supposed to be doing some awesome things, but I feel it's hitting ASICs too soon. Even though majority of the coins have been already mined, we're still going to see massive lumps go to these ASICs, and there's going to be huge sell pressure coming. Regardless, 2,000 miners. Let's just do a quick roundup of numbers here. If we go into here, the current network hash rate is now 1.12. I did the numbers based on 1.14 petahash, but look at this. 1.12 is the current entire network on KASPA. 1.12 petahash. And if we see 2,000 miners, that is 16,600 terahash alone, which is 16.6 petahash. 16 times the hash rate of the entire KASPA if only 2,000 miners of these sell. I have 5,000 miners of these things sell in the first couple months here. That is 41,500 terahash to hit the network. 41.5 petahash. We're only at 1.12 petahash on the network. You can see the numbers. 41.5 just from these ASICs alone if 5,000 of them sell. 41x the current entire network in hash rate. That is an insane jump that could hit these networks. So now let's take a look at the profitability. We're just going to start with the 100 gigahash miner here, the KS0. And if I put in 100 gigahash here, we can see that this miner right now is making $37.14 a day. The worst miner is at $37. That is insane. That is a lot of money, and it is very efficient. You're hardly spending any coins to cover your power. It's only using 100 watts. That's crazy. So I'm just going to jump to the big boy right here, right off the get-go, and show you that. So we're at 100 gigahash. Let's go to 8.3 terahash. 8.300. Oh, I don't want that. We're in gigahash here, 8,300. So 8,300. Bam. This thing is making $3,082 per 24 hours. It is mining 144,000 coins today, right now, every day, 144,000 coins. That means in like 8 point some days, 8.5 or something, you're making 1 million KASPA. That is freaking crazy. So $3,082. Now let's take a look at this thing. Once 2,000 miners do emerge, what is this miner looking like with 2,000 miners? And I did jump the network up to here based on these numbers, plus adding the 1.12 current hash rate. So this will be the big jump total hash rate with that. So now we got to put our 8,300 in here. 8.3 terahash. Now we're already down with 2,000 miners selling. We're going from $3,000 a day down to $189 a day. And if 5,000 of these miners do sell, we are looking at 8,300 here, $78. Now, obviously, this is still huge. $78 per day is pretty darn good, but you can just see at first, and this is the thing we got to talk about too. I noticed it in some of the comments is Bitmain may buy a bunch of coins or something. I'm not saying they will, but usually just before they drop a product, the price spikes on a coin. So maybe they buy some while it's cheap, get the price up to make it look even better, which we could be seeing, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 per day on these. People FOMO the crap out of these miners, and by the time they finally get them, the price crashes. Bitmain sells their bag, and whoever else that pretty much knows that this happened, they said they're going to sell it if they see this happen. We could see a huge dump. By the time you get the miner, KASPA price could be down next to nothing, and then obviously these will change as well. It's all based on current pricing right now, but we can see just based on how many miners sell how bad this drops. Now let's just look at the Ice River. Let's go back to the 100 gigahash miner now and look at that and compare the tiers here. So we go from $37 a day down to $2.28 a day, and then we're down to 94 cents. So you can see how it affects the KS0. 37, $2.28, 94 cents. Remember, we don't know what the price is going to be. We don't know how many will sell, and GPUs will come offline. But it doesn't matter. If all the GPUs fell offline right when these things release, it's not really going to affect the network at all because the hash rate on these things are absolutely insane. All right, guys, so there we have it. Bitmain is on track to kill KASPA. Now, remember, exact same thing that happened with Kadena. These miners looked extremely good before they released. Once they released, Kadena's garbage, and it hasn't really seen any price gains since. It's pretty much been bleeding out, and who knows if it'll even recover in the next bull run. I don't know. Maybe it could. I hope it does. I'm holding some Kadena, but it might die. So now we're moving on to KASPA. We're seeing massive miners emerge. It's going to turn very, very centralized because it depends who can mine on these miners, and it's going to come down to, depending on your power price, these are the only miners that'll be worthwhile on KASPA. So yeah, it's crazy. Bitmain's here. They did it again. Hopefully you did not order an Ice River because those things now suck. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.